Welcome back, everyone. For those of you who don't know, my name's Rob McFarlane and I take your favourite film and TV and analyse it to see how the filmmakers do it. In this episode, we're going to take a look at how A Quiet Place 2 takes advantage of the male ego with one word. So, grab a cup of your favourite coffee, sit back, relax. It's time for a video essay. Side note, this is gonna have some pretty major spoilers for, the movie, so go watch it. Back to the episode. Before we get to the one word, which would basically manipulate any man, I think it's really important that we set up the scene. We analyze how John Krasinski has taken us to the point where this word becomes so effective. An idiom springs to mind.
The man is the head, but the woman is the neck, and she can turn the head any way she wants.
Great film, classic movie. So, here's how A Quiet Place 2's female characters take advantage of male ego to get what they want.
You have to find her for me. She's gonna get help, and I need you to go and find her for me and bring her back to me.
Listen to me.
Please, Emma, I'm begging you.
How do the backgrounds really reinforce the different perspectives of these two characters? We see as she starts to walk towards the camera, over her shoulder is her son, representing the pressure that she has to stay here and take care of him. And secondly, it's interesting, the choice of light bathing the background is daylight. And then behind Emmett, we have the complete opposite. He has nothing behind him. Instead of a clean white light behind him, we see a deep orange darkness behind him. Also, next to him are gauges and pumps, highlighting maybe a more logical survival thought process. If you're suitably caffeinated, don't forget to hit like. Thank you. Side note, did you notice something in the background? I mean, obviously, you did, because I spoke about it. So when Emily Blunt's character walks out and approaches Cillian Murphy's character, he takes his earphones off. Nosy little blighter. Thank you for making it this far in the video. If you enjoy good old video analysis, don't forget to wait till the end of the episode because I'm going to share something pretty cool with you guys. So how does John Krasinski go about convincing Cillian Murphy's character to go against all of his survival instincts?
Emma, I'm begging you.
Evelyn.
I'm begging you. We were friends. Emma, please.
Oof! She pulled the friendship card. When she comes up, she immediately does two very interesting things. First of all, she puts her hands together like a prayer as she pleads with him to go after her daughter. She also averts her eyes from his gaze. Now, this is interesting in two ways. One, you would think if you're trying to convince someone, you would try and create eye contact. Instead, I think John Krasinski went for something more along the lines of being submissive.
I'm begging you. We were friends. Emma, please. Lee is gone.
I think it's really important to also look at how John Krasinski has edited this sequence as well. He's done everything to make sure we feel convinced of Emmett's change of mind because he has to sell Emily Blunt's performance. How she convinces Emmett, we need to be convinced that it is worth the danger to save her daughter. So what does he do? Well, first of all, we stay on Emily for a good chunk of the beginning. Now, as I said before, her eyes are averted for the majority of the shot, and then she starts to raise her head once she's reminded him of their friendship. But before she makes proper eye contact, John cuts to the other side. Now, I think this is actually a really smart move. Eye contact is an incredibly powerful tool used in the right way. So he's saving it. He's saving it for later in this scene to make it really powerful.
Lee is gone.
And you see how Emmett turns away when she reminds him that her husband is no longer there. She doesn't have anyone else to rely on and he's the only one who can help her.
Now he's gone.
And now we use the eye contact. Once Emmett has looked away, Emily is now in full control of this conversation. We cut back to see her staring directly into him, boring holes through him.
It's a shame, because if you were here, he'd look you right in the eye and he'd tell you that his little girl is absolutely the kind of person worth saving.
And this is the most important line in the entire sequence. She's telling him that you could be a hero. You could be as good as my husband was. You just need to risk your life, obviously. But the key word, which strikes triggers with any male ego, is the word
Saving.
damn, she's a good actor. You see, men have a rather obvious Achilles heel. We need to feel needed. It's after this line that Emily Blunt's character knows that he will go. I don't see this manipulation as a toxic manipulation. I see it actually as a way of allowing the character, Emmett's character, to go through his journey. Basically, his character needs to heal the wounds of the trauma of losing his family. And to do that, he needs to feel like he is needed again. Just like the lion in Alice in Wonderland, Emmett needs to find his heart. And by the end of the film, he's willing to put himself in harm's way. A huge transformation from the beginning of the movie to the end. And it is really testament to John Krasinski's writing and directing that it does it so beautifully. When he is manipulated, well, he needs to be manipulated. He wouldn't have gone out had Emily Blunt's character not found his weakness. And his weakness was based on his trauma, that he couldn't save anyone. Well, damn, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. And as promised, check out the link above. There's also a link below to my acclaimed Cinematic Language 101 course. This is going to give you a foundation knowledge of cinematic language, helping you better understand and appreciate the film and TV that you watch.